Ross, did you get to Vegas?
I missed the flight. I wouldn't believe it. So I just stayed in Melbourne, watched a lot of footy. Had a good look at us, what we're trying to improve on. We're pleased with the improved performance, but we've got a lot of growth in us. But I suppose if you look at a form line, we played a really good opponent. Melbourne really stacked up yesterday, so we're going to a formidable opponent off a loss. So it's a big challenge, but one we're excited to sort of meet and aim to improve our footy.
It's only been 52 days.
Pardon?
It's only been 52 days since you last played the Bulldogs. A bit strange. Yeah, round 6.
Yeah, that's the quirk of the draw, I suppose. It probably happens to a few clubs.
Does that put you in a good position to bounce back? They got better every that night.
Oh, I wish it did. I'm not sure it works like that. If it does, I'd be pleased. But look, it's a season with ebbs and flows for everybody. So hopefully we've learned some lessons. They're a great stoppage team, on difference and score difference. It's absolute one wood, and we're going to have to be really on our tucker in there to sort of be able to be in the game.
Hawthorn probably got the better of the Bulldogs more than any side has this year. Was there anything out of that performance that you noted?
Yeah, I got the better of them in what way?
Well, just in terms of on the ground, the Dogs, even in their losses, have been pretty honourable losses, but the Hawks sort of took them apart.
Well, they tore them apart. What did they lose by?
Was it 90 million?
Not much.
34.
They were really coming late, the Bulldogs. I thought they were in the game to the end, but I think they're such a free-flowing team. And, I mean, Hawthorn, if you just listen to the narrative around them, just brought pressure, let go of method and just focused on sort of desire and hunt. So I think that's what all AFL teams try to bring each week. And as we said, the circadian rhythms, you go up and down a little bit. So we need to be at our very best with that. And they've obviously had a lot of noise around them, and I think they're 6-6. They don't feel like a 6-6 team with their form line. They've been in a lot of close games. That Geelong Bulldogs game was a ripper game. So, we understand it's going to be a challenge, and, they're copying some criticism, but AFL teams, you shouldn't or don't get motivated like that. It probably just is a little burr under the skin, and they've smacked us the last couple, so they'll see it as an opportunity.
They're likely to get Sam Darcy back this week. Do you think they're a different team when they've got him in the form?
Yeah, well, clearly. He's back in, isn't he? They're different personnel with Sam in.
But in terms of just like the threat they offer, obviously they're a different team with him in, but the threats that they have.
He's a really good player. The AFL's full of threats, but if you focus on one, often it's system v system. But you're right, there's sort of peak performers and people that draw the ball, and it's just you've got to do it over a long period of time to become a great player. But he was making some great inroads, wasn't he? So we'll plan for him. But it's generally won and lost in the midfield, right? So you can look around the league, teams' forms flowing with their midfield form. So that's no different to us. When we compete in the midfield and we're really competitive, you protect your defence and you give forwards opportunities. So ultimately, his outcome and Norton's outcome will be a product of pressure or not up the field.
Talk about your midfield, Jack McRae. What does he have to do today to put his hand up the selection?
Yeah, he sort of was a significant injury, wasn't he? Been in pretty good form. So he'll train fully today. He'll be up for selection. We haven't made any final calls. Yeah. We'll have a good look at it. Stocker will train today, same thing.
Taz?
What about him?
Well, he now said he came off the calf.
Yeah, he won't play. Yeah. It's not a calf, it's a plantaris. So it's a minor end. We're hoping to get him up, but he's a bit sore than we would have hoped. He just tore the plantaris. So I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but they tell me it's not significant and he should get moving. He's a bit frustrated because he's had a rough run, but sometimes that happens to young players. But, once he gets some continuity in his foot, he's a powerful athlete. We think it'd be pretty good for us over a period of time.
Have you chatted with Nasiah Wangan-Miller since he's come back from Adelaide? Did you get any indication about where he's...
No, I haven't. I did. Claire sent me the link, right? So I come in prepared. But he spoke about fam. He's very close at home. What's interesting is the environment over there, isn't it? He's been door-stopped twice and terrorised twice, and not the Melbourne press, they're really respectful, but it sort of talks to the melting or the intensity over there, doesn't it? Getting the door stopped at the airport junior bye. So the manager come out and refuted all claims. So it's just interesting how non-story becomes a story. And clearly it's good to have competitive tension, right?
Do you think that works in your favour, Ross, the fact that he gets hounded when he goes? Do you think that works in the Saints' favour, the fact that he gets hounded when he goes back?
Yeah, I've got no idea. Build it and they'll come. You know, develop our players, support them, make it a safe environment. And then at the end of the day, yeah, they're good enough to keep them, we're not. Not losing too much sleep over it.
Was that Jason Horne-Francis and Jace Burgoyne took him out for some frozen yogurt and had him over for
Did
dinner?
they? Well, the brothers, right?
Yeah.
The brother boys, they love getting together. Yeah, so we've got Paulie Vandenberg coming into the club today, who really, works closely with our First Nations players. But yeah, it's, Sir Doug Nichols around, NAIDOC week, Conciliation week. So it's been, it was a great experience in Alice Springs. Well, that's just one aspect of the game, but the big picture is we want to make St Kilda great. We've got a lot of hard work to do over a long period of time.
Just last one, Alex Haru, he's obviously played twos on the weekend. How's he feeling to be back out there?
Yeah, I haven't asked him. I was trying to get to Vegas, so I'm sure he enjoyed his bye. We all enjoyed it, but there's challenges coming off the bye. You can, a half a second or a second in AFL footy is 3 or 5 metres and you can look terrible. So squarely focus on our training session as opposed to individuals. So we all submit to the team's needs. That's, we really need teamsmanship and a real focus for the Bulldogs. Thank you.
Happy to help.